Credit video report. The lecture I attended was baseball and physics. You can observe a lot by watching. The topic of this lecture was using a high-speed video clip. You can highlight the physics principles in baseball. And the two main focuses were the baseball and bat collision and the flight of a baseball through the air. Next, the main points were that there is something called a coefficient of restitution that can affect the speed of a baseball after impact, the importance of the sweep spot of the bat, and how the batter's grip affects the batted ball. And this was interesting to me because I played a lot of baseball as a kid. I played with my friends, I played on a team, and this lecture really connected my desire to always understand everything about baseball with a lot of really important clips and just cool analyses of the sport in terms of physics. So I thought it was pretty interesting and informative. So the coefficient of restitution is actually just the fractional value representing the ratio of speeds after and before an impact taken along the line of impact. So in this case it's a projectile motion. So how does this relate to baseball? Well, the greater the coefficient of restitution, the faster the ball will travel. The equation is the final velocity of the ball minus the final velocity of the bat over the initial velocity of the ball minus the initial velocity of the bat. Therefore, the greater coefficient of restitution would arise from the final velocity of the bat equaling 0, because that would give you the greatest numerator. And because of that, you'll have a greater final kinetic energy of that ball, which means it would travel much faster. And it will have more energy because all of the energy from the bat has gone straight to the ball, giving a greater coefficient of restitution and thus traveling farther and faster. Next was the sweet spot. And as I mentioned earlier about kinetic energy, this is really important, the sweet spot, because if you don't hit the sweet spot, there becomes the introduction of vibrational energy and thermal energy being transferred to the bat. Therefore, if you hit the sweet spot, you will have all the energy from the bat going to the ball, ideally. And the danger of not applying it to the sweet spot is that, well, you can see a ball fracture or crack in many spots because of just the tremendous amount of force these baseball players put into these baseball bats. And thus, during impact, if all the energy is not transferred straight to the ball, that bat will face a lot of energy as well. And the last thing is the batter's grip. This is always taught to be very, very important in baseball, but surprisingly enough, it actually does not matter when speaking about how fast or how far the ball travels. And you can see a picture here of the famous no grip swing, where during this game a home run was still hit even though there was a moment where the batter did not actually hold the baseball bat. And this is because the rebound speed is independent of how the bat is supported at the handle. So it doesn't matter how strong the person's grip is, the speed of the ball will still go as fast as, where the force was applied. That goes back to coefficient of restitution and the transfer of energy. So it doesn't matter the actual strength of the grip, more so where. And that concludes my video. Thank you for watching.